Hello, everybody. Blessed be. Happy Beltaine. Boy, has it been busy. I am one of the witches that believe in the practice of something like a Beltaine ritual because it's the end of April. It's literally April 30th. People start celebrating it as early as the 29th of April. So the day before, the day of, and the day after. Today is May Day. Still. Here in a little bit, I will scrounge out my, I have to use my black and green Wicca book because Chris just went to bed and I'm trying to keep my voice down. And I just spent 3 hours down at Normia's, my witch sister, one of my witch sisters in the building. And she's a very dear friend of mine. We've been good friends for at least 4 or 5 years by now. I've literally lost count. But to start this off interesting and random, check out my gothic sandals, y'all. Aren't those cool? And yes, the chain hangs on the outside. It's got hearts and crosses. But it hits you in a really weird spot. And I recommend wearing either trousers with them, or if you have the skinny enough feet, which right now I don't because I'm still struggling with my weight and that whole deal. So, but it's more comfortable for me most times if I wear trouser socks or like knee highs or something with them because they've got to be the really thin hose. And sorry that I'm so shadowed right now, but there just really isn't any other source of light unless I start lighting a bunch of candles, which I'm kind of low on candles, so I might go ahead and light the 4 all around me. That way it'll give me a chance to take my Hecate key. It's wood. It's got kind of a elaborate design on it. I found it somewhere. I think it was a thrift store or something. And I've got me a nice Hecate altar over here that I'm slowly putting together. Oh, that's better. And I think I'm going to go ahead and turn this back around. Got funny burnout. So give me a minute. You guys will still hear my voice, but I'm going to go around and light the, I call them candles of power because I light them on each side of myself. Sometimes having a lighting stick just makes it easier. Okay, now what the hell did I do with my long matches? Yeah, it's one of those kind of days. I'm going to keep them back up here because I usually have them sitting on this table near me. All right, Hecate. Since I'm doing a live, I usually light the candle in the north first. But this time, I did Hecate first. And sometimes I forget to keep a candle in a certain holder. Because over here I have a Hindu pop-up altar. Come on. Light the candle, please. Okay. Got one there. I usually try to keep a couple of lighting sticks around because you never know when you might need one. Okay, so these I call the candles of power. There's one on each side of me. One in the north, one in the west, one in the east, one south. So let's make it interesting. No, you're not going to be able to see it that way. We'll go over here. Actually, it's the opposite. Yeah, right. Okay. There we go. I'll leave it facing this way. Because see Jimmy in the background there? That's my Hindu altar. Sorry I can't zoom in, but I'm going to leave it there while I go use the bathroom. Okay. And over here, let me just show you guys this way. Because it's the only way you're going to be able to see it. That's the Hecate altar I've got set up so far. And yes, that is what I call a pop-up altar. The one that the statue is sitting on, and those vases there, those are very magically, scientifically powerful vases that many, who knows how long ago this was, but there was a woman named Petra Longbranch. Now, I believe some time ago I did do like, I mentioned her here and there, but I don't think I ever went into any like elaborate discussions. She was, and I mean this in the greatest respect, she was a very powerful witch. She was also scientific, and she was masculine. Her family shunned her didn't believe in what she believed in, didn't share her beliefs, didn't share her religion. I don't even know if she really truly had one, but again, no offense to her, I love her greatly. She would dress like a man, you know, and stuff. And back in her time and era, that was inappropriate behavior for a woman and dress. So she got a lot of flack from people about it. She didn't let it get to her. She didn't let it bother her. She didn't let it run and rule everything she said and did in her life. She took highly magical elements and added it scientifically to make these vases extremely powerful. That set of vases I just showed you, real glass, real pewter. I think it's pewter. It looks like pewter. It bends easily, so you got to be careful. They're antique. And that set of glasses was over $500, y'all. 500 big ones, or a big nickels doesn't count. Big nickels more like 50. That's what some of the people I know, like the guy that I call Dad, Jim Farrar. He says big nickel is 50. So anyway, Petra got a lot of. She didn't get along with her family. They outcasted her. She was black sheep. She would travel to the ends of the earth, all corners of the globe, of this great, beautiful Mother Earth we live on. Some call her Gaia, some call her Aradia, some call her, I mean, she go by, that's why she goes by many names. Hestia, I know, is hearth and home. But sadly, because of where we live, we're in the middle of the city. We're in a tiny ass 1-bedroom apartment, and you can't have a fireplace in here. It would turn this place into an oven, literally. Like, you wouldn't be able to breathe. It would be terrible. Not to mention there is no space for any kind of a decent fireplace, actual fireplace that burns real wood that's made of stone, you know. So Petra, she had an estate when she passed on. Her family didn't want anything to do with any of it because either all or the majority of it was magic and science combined. And very, 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 very powerful. When you get these vases, it comes with a paper that tells you how to use them. But I seem to have a bad habit of misplacing the very notebook that I may have to finally break down and get it out of the storage tomorrow. It's got a lot of stuff in it that I haven't been able to use because in a rush and kerfuffle of spending a week and a half to get this place cleaned up enough that they could spray for roaches and bed bugs. I was busting my ass. I was just cramming shit in boxes and didn't even really half pay attention to what I was putting where. I was just trying to get it done quick. Joe sprayed this apartment one fucking time. That's not enough. He goes to Florida for the month of fall and winter, stays there till spring and summer, then he comes back. Meanwhile, all of us that are left back here have to deal with all the bullshit. John is the lousiest building manager I've ever known. He doesn't do his job. He expects us to just pull money out of our ass and make all these fucking repairs and stuff that are not our job to fix. And certainly not for $465 a fucking month. Okay. We got signed up with senior options. I'm hopeful that they will get us on their list quickly because it could be up to 6 months or longer before you even get accepted. Getting on the list is the first step. But before I continue, let me go get what I forgot. Pretty sure it's down here. I try to keep these together. No, that's Magical Moon Dragon. There it is. Okay, apparently my dragons want me to get them out. It's like, okay. That's right, there is I bet there's a Beltaine dragon trying to speak to me, get my attention. Year of the Magical Dragon. I highly recommend it for anybody that truly is into the craft and have decided that this is the path for you. Okay, that was Ice Dragons. In bulk. I'm reading, hang on. Okay. Each chapter has a little kind of, I call it a bios. The vernal equinox finds the seeker at a point of perfect balance upon the wheel of the year. And this is what it says. With the arrival of spring, all life upon earth begins to awaken from a long slumber. In my tradition, the vernal equinox is a fire festival celebration. Physically, the earth is awake and ripe for the growing season. Preparations for the later harvest will begin with the blessing of the seeds. The planting of these blessed seeds, both physical and spiritual, will be an important part of this communion with dragon energy. This is chapter 5. The dragons, too, are waking and breathing in the sweet smells of the season. As promised, the days are longer, winter's sleep is shed and replaced with eyes that will soon be wide open. For this portion of the wheel walk, that's what they call this, the waking dragons will be honored. The communion is designed to connect the seeker to the vision and power of these particular dragons. We will use their stories first and foremost to familiarize the seeker with the dragons. Then the teachings of the dragon will be highlighted. Finally, using sacred space, the waking dragons will be approached and honored. So, Beltaine is spring equinox. It's April 30th. Okay, where is... I always go the wrong direction. Okay, here we go. Now, again, I'm using this book this time. I usually have been trying to use my big red book, but it's in the bedroom and Krista's trying to sleep, so this will have to do. Doesn't mean that I can't always do the big book version tomorrow just for the heck of it. Beltaine, April 30th or May 1st. If possible, celebrate Beltaine in a forest or near a living tree. If this is impossible, bring a small tree within the circle, preferably potted. It can be of any type. Create a small token or charm in honor of the wedding of the goddess and god to hang upon the tree. You can make several if you desire. These tokens can be bags filled with fragrant flowers, strings of beads, carvings, flower garlands, whatever your talents and imagination can conjure. Sorry, itchy nose. Arrange the altar, light the candles in censer, meaning the incense burner, and cast the circle of stones. Recite the blessing chant, invoke the goddess and god. Stand before the altar and say, with wand upraised, O Mother Goddess, Queen of the night and of the earth, O Father God, King of the day and of the forests, I celebrate your union as nature rejoices in a riotous blaze of color and light. Accept my gift, Mother Goddess and Father God, in honor of your union. Place the tokens on the tree. From your mating shall spring forth life anew. A profusion of living creatures shall cover the lands, and the winds will blow pure and sweet. O ancient ones, I celebrate with you. Works of magic, if necessary, may follow. Celebrate the simple feast. The circle is released. Beltaine lore. Weaving and plaiting are traditional arts at this time of year. For the joining together of two substances to form a third is in the spirit of Beltaine. Okay. Foods traditionally come from the dairy, and dishes such as marigold custard, which this book does have a recipe for in the back. I haven't done it yet. Been wanting to. And vanilla ice cream are fine. Oatmeal cakes are also appropriate. Now, midsummer, or circa June 21st, I have the honor of attending a Wiccan wedding on IMVU of Malia and Alec of, I forget what they say the name of their coven is. Excuse me. So I started celebrating on the 29th. I'll read some more of this in a little bit because, like I said, it's like 15 after 10 already. So I'm trying to keep my voice down because I know Chris has been having issues with falling asleep here lately, and he's in a lot of pain. So that makes him grouchy, grumpy, mean, snappish. He snaps at me, and all I'm trying to do a lot of times is ask him a question, or I try not to ask for his help for anything because I never know when I'm going to get the loving him, and I never know when I'm going to get the mean ass, grumpy old man thing. Here recently, about a week or a couple weeks ago by now, I don't even know, I've lost count. Chris went in on a Wednesday, didn't get released to come home until the following Friday, or so it was Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, he was in the hospital. That's how long he was in the hospital this time. In my opinion, that was pretty much 3 days. And he was ready to come home. Pneumonia had developed in one of his lungs again, and he had blood clots in the other. I have been with this man for 18 years. And it has been anything but perfect. But then if you think about the practicality of life itself, there is no such thing as perfect. There are some who are fortunate and lucky enough out there in the world that have been married 100 years and they're still every bit in love as the first day they met and fell in love and got married. How I feel is he's slowly making me watch him slowly die. He's on so many more medications now, and he's so much more frail. He's lost more weight than I ever thought I would see him lose. He's had to go down a pant size or two just to not feel like he's walking around wearing baggy pants all day because he's lost too much weight. He did the cancer treatment thing, and as soon as we walked out of the hospital, walked out of the building, walked to the parking garage, got in the car, the first thing he did was light up a cigarette, and I wanted to take it out of his hand, crush it up, and throw it away. What is it going to take before he finally quits, before he finally stops smoking altogether? I'm really struggling with the all too frequent and often anymore visits that he has to end up taking to the hospital, and he's usually there for several days each time. Quit! Cat Kalika was clawing at something. I'm trying to stop her. She's probably just chasing a roach or something. Some fucking things are everywhere you look in here. I feel like I'm drowning in fucking roaches and bed bugs. The stress of the continuous decline of his health. How easily he gets winded from doing a simple task like taking the garbage out, which he used to be able to do with not too much trouble. Now, I've been helping him. Not like every single time, but I try to help him as much as I can, and try to do more so he has less to do. And a lot of times I feel forced to put on a brave face to outwardly appear like, oh, I'm fine. I'm not. I'm watching him slowly die. The frequency of the trips to the hospital anymore have been taking their toll on me, as well as him. They've been taking their toll on me spiritually, mentally. My body can't handle all the stress. So my daily life becomes very quickly a struggle for survival each day. What's today going to be like? What is he going to snap at me for this time? Are we going to have a good day? Is the weather going to be crappy? And when he's gone, because I know his family don't give two shits about him, so I just hope that I will be able to get his ashes, but the state will pay for the cremation and the funeral, and I will get to keep his ashes because none of his family would want any of them, I'm sure. Chris has always been outcast by his family, and that's why he ended up going into the Navy when he was like 18 or whatever, however old you had to be back then to go into the Navy, just to get away from his family. He got blamed for stuff he didn't even do. They accused him of breaking his dad's arm, and he was nowhere near them. He was in the middle of the water on a boat. How the hell is he going to break his dad's arm? With the power of his mind? I don't think so. He got abused and brainwashed into thinking he was a worthless piece of shit and couldn't do anything right. And all the while, his mom thought she was doing so good with him and disciplining him proper, and it did the opposite. It hurt him. And it took him many years later talking to her on the phone before one day it just finally came out, and I just sat silently next to him and let him get that out, And when she heard it, she was like, kind of went quiet, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know. I thought I was doing good, and I guess I wasn't. We couldn't go to Mom's funeral, his mom. We couldn't go to Dad's funeral. His dad. I met his dad once. Just once. And Chris swears up and down. I remember it was Applebee's. I remember Bob, Chris's dad, was in town or something to see family or something. This is just my cat, Kalika. For any newbies that are, what? Who's is that your cat? Well, obviously it's my cat. This is the one that's always wanting my attention at the weirdest, most messed up times sometimes, and she's my Cancer zodiac sign, so she's my polarity because I'm Capricorn, and that explains why her and I have such a close bond. Making sure Malachi's still doing okay. My new beta fish. I got him in a tank by himself over here. I don't want to put him in with the goldfish because they produce pneumonia, and Spotty handles it fine, but they've got shit knocked over in the tank, and we got to get this thing cleaned this weekend. The fish are laying on the bottom sleeping. That's how you can tell they're sleeping. They don't move. Malachi seems very active. And I bought special gravel for my little beta tank. It looks like a puzzle piece, and Malachi is only like that big. He's real small. He's a baby, like pretty young, as it were. And he's got beautiful malachite colors in him. He's got blacks and greens and blues, and just really, really beautiful combination. And he was like $12.99. I had my pretty multicolored female one, Sedna, last summer, I think it was, or something, and she died, and I was like devastated. Oh, I'm sorry. Here, let me move these. Let me move them. Get your claws out of them. There. Now you got the whole damn middle cushion. It's obvious what you want. So when we met Chris's dad, it was me, Alicia, Zephyr, my daughter, Chris, and according to Chris, one of her friends was with us, Zephyr, and I don't remember a friend being with us. I thought it was just me, Zephyr, Chris, and Bob. But it doesn't matter. Point being, at least me and Zephyr got to meet Bob once, like face to face. Because Bob's a Capricorn, me and Alicia are both Capricorns. Chris's mom was Cancer, so that explains, I think, at least in part, why her and I got along so well, and I never met her. I just strictly talked to her on the phone, and, you know, it was very rare when we would get to talk to her, because usually it would be like if something serious happened in the family, then she would call Chris and let him know. She would call on holidays, like Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, you know, stuff like that. She died a couple days before Chris's birthday. And Chris didn't want to go to the showing. They had her body laying on a table, and they had a blanket on her, and they had, you know, but you could see her face and everything. They didn't do a coffin. She didn't want it. She didn't want them to have to pay the expense of getting a decent coffin, and so cremation is the way to go a lot of times. And she wanted to be cremated. So the kids were not happy with that. They wanted to have a viewing, a showing of her body before they cremated her. Chris didn't want to go. I thought about going by myself, but I was like, no, I'm not going to do it, because what if I get lost? What if something happens with the car and it breaks down? Then I'm out there all alone, and God knows where, on a fucking road somewhere in bumfucked Egypt, and trying not to freak out and panic, because I'm like, oh crap, now what do I do? God has kept me out of this one. Send me help, please. Send me somebody safe, you know, trustworthy, you know, that'll help me get where I'm going, and maybe help me get my car running enough that I can get it home. And Long and short of it, for me and Chris, has always been and always will be because we both have had and still have, in my opinion, baggage from events, relationships, different things, family stuff, you name it. Different girlfriends, different lady loves, but hey, I mean, I've dated a lot of guys, and we should have waited. I should have insisted on him staying at the shelter I found him in, the shelter that he was staying in when we agreed to meet face to face, which was December 19th, 2007. City Center Mall. I had on my purple gothic gown and my hair was short and thick and bobbed. I thought it was cute. It was the middle of winter because I remember I had on knee-high boots that my mom had given me that I was surprised had actually fit me because they were like a size 6. And they went all the way up to the knee. They had these big white poofy things you could tie on. They were adorable. And my gothic gown's purple, dark purple with black lace around the tips of the sleeves, just nowhere else. Very plain. It had these 2 cords, black cords that were sewn into the sides that through the years, because I wore it so much, the cords started fraying. So I cut them off. Kept them for a while, then I think I finally thought, this is stupid unless I plan on sewing them back on. So I decided, with my crochet skills, I will create different cords in a different color. Actually, 3 different colors. There are 4 major colors, so I have read in many different witch books. Don't ask me what ones, I don't remember. Red, blue, gold, and purple. If you wear those 4 colors as a combination and, make sure everything matches and everything looks good, okay? Don't walk around looking like Bozo the Clown. Clashing and shit like I've done in the past. But that's part of the charm of the younger me. So I crocheted some new cords. They were red, blue, and gold. And the dress, because they were attached to the dress was the purple color. So I had those in there for a while, and then I think I ended up cutting those out. My daughter had the dress for a while. I never expected that she was ever going to give it back to me, but she did. She enjoyed it for a while, and then she said, Mom, I know this dress really means a lot to you, and it took you a long time to get it, which is true. I enjoyed it for a while, and I want you to have it back, Well, thank you, honey, because that dress was over $100. It was from the Pyramid Collection. And that was all the way back to when I was living in Marysville in the trailer. So, yeah, it's been a while ago. Because I was back in Marysville until 2004. So 5, 6, 7, 3 years after I finally got out of that hellhole, came back to Franklin County and was living in a van on my mom's street at the time. She was on Santa Maria then. In Whitehall. Now she's moved and she's on Maplewood and she's in a house and it's really nice. And yeah, I predicted and kind of put in a request quite a while ago, many years ago, when me and Chris would walk. Before we got the car, we would walk to the Walmart. So we would walk out of our building, go left, go down to Maplewood, take it all the way down to Maine, go left again, take it, turn in where we needed to at the Walmart, and then we would have to drag a bunch of shit back. So we ended up using a shopping cart one of the collapsible kind that you can get that has the little bread basket in it, and it, you know, you can flatten it and fasten it together or something, and store it somewhere. So only bring it out when you're using it. And we would drag shit back that way. There was times when we would be literally dragging back I would have 4 bags on each arm of groceries and different things, and Chris would have a few himself. And I remember when I went by this house on Maplewood, I was like, oh, wow, I wish we could get that house. But I would settle with Mom getting it, Mom and Jim, because it seemed like a nice house. I did not know at the time that Pastor Toby, who is the pastor of the church that Jim's a deacon in right now, that Mom used to go to, but stopped because she tended to get sat off by herself somewhere and nobody would even try to come up and talk to her. So she felt like she wasn't wanted there, like they were jealous of her or envious of her or something, because she would always dress nice when she would go to church. She would wear, I'm talking her fancy dresses, her pretty big floppy hats, she would dress to the nines. And there was other women there that was jealous about that and envious about that. So she just stopped going. Like, she would go to functions that they would do, gatherings that they would have and different things. And Jim would walk her over to a table, sit her down, and then he'd go off and talk to everybody else, and she'd just get left there alone. That's not right. That's not the way a church family is supposed to be. So she stopped going, and I don't blame her. I'll be in conclusion with me and Chris because of the baggage we both still have, because of things I feel have not dealt with. We're still have a couple issues. We argue rarely, but then there's times when we argue more than I like. But I have been standing up for myself and letting him know when I feel that he's snapping at me. But I try to choose my words carefully because I don't want to antagonize the situation and make him even more snappish. And until that baggage is dealt with, really dealt with, we're going to keep having issues. Part of I like to call it magical therapy, that I plan on doing here soon. The sooner the better, like even as early as tomorrow. But tomorrow's going to be busy. I have to go to the bank to get money for my mom. I have to go to the bank to get money for my sister Normia. Then after we get that done, we got to take Christy to her driving test so she can get her driver's license. And there's a possibility we may have to use my car to do that, and then just take my car. And then like me and Norma will either be in the back seat if it would be allowed, or we'll just kind of stand off to ourselves until the driving test is done. And they come back with the car, then we'll get in and they'll be like, okay, go get your driver's license. Then she said we can go to a mall or something. So it's like, okay, how about this? And this is why I discussed it with Norma earlier. I said, here is the plan for tomorrow. When I'm awake, I will let you know. And then I will also text Christy and let her know and ask her if I can come down for a minute because I want to explain the plan of the day, if that's okay. And she'll probably be like, sure, come on over. So I'll go over, knock on the door, walk in, say, okay, this is the plan that me and Norma discussed last night. This is what we're going for. I hope that's okay. And I already know she's going to be like, yeah, sure. We're going to go to all 3 of the witch shops, starting with Witch Lab. Then we're going to As we're heading back from Witch Lab, instead of heading back, we're going to be hitting North High or whatever, maybe, or something, to get up to Magical Druid and Pearls of Wisdom. So, because I don't know, like, if there's still a lot of fucked up, crazy shit going on the OSU campus, construction or anything of that nature, that it would be a waste of time, gas, and everything to get stuck behind a bunch of cars that are going a bunch of different routes because there's a bunch of different shit going on or whatever. And it's like, no. So maybe the better way to do things would be go to Pearls of Wisdom and Druid first, then go to Witch Lab, because I know of a way, like, it would be like we're practically coming straight back home. However, I want to go to Witch Lab first, though. So what we'll do is I'll GPS it from Witch Lab, Pearls of Wisdom, and whatever route it brings up, I'll be like, preferably not the route that takes you up the OSU campus, and see what route it puts us on. And if we can do it that way, great. Otherwise, we will come all the way back to James Road, take James Road all the way down to Morris, go left on Morris, take that all the way down to High Street, go right on High Street, go to Pearls of Wisdom first, do our thing there, then work our way down to Magical Druid, do our thing there, then maybe once we get done at Magical Druid, GPS Witch Lab from there, just to see what route it takes us and decide if that's the route we want to go. Or we could say, give us directions to Witch Lab, occult store down on the corner of Yale and Broad by way of freeway. And then it'll take you on the freeway, and maybe that'll be the easier way to go. Don't have a lot of money, so I'm going to try to get very little from each location. So that'll be a total of 3 there. I'm hoping that my mom will give me the $20 for taking her money, because right now I really need it, because I want to start building my money up on my fun money card. Starting with next Monday, I'm going to go over and do Miss Linda's grass and make sure I clear my schedule so I can get it done, which means I'm going to have to go over to Mom's. I'm going to have to call Jim before I even walk out my door and make sure that he is going to be ready to take me over there using his truck, take the lawnmower, and then I'll follow him in my car, and then he can leave me there. He can go over and do the church, and then what I'll probably do there is I'll just tell Miss Linda, is it okay if we leave the mower here until Jim comes back and gets it? Because I will call him right now and let him know, but I don't know if he'll hear me, because if he's on the riding mower, he's going to have the headphones on. He's not going to hear his phone. But is it okay? Could we leave it here? Could I put it in your storage shed just until Jim can come and get it? That'll be $20 there. If Mom gives me the 20 for tomorrow, that'll be 40. Well, when I do the lawn Monday, that's $20. Mom gives me a work day, that's 20 more. So I could get as much as $40. If there's still some small engine stuff that needs fixed in the garage and Jim wants me to try my hand at it, I'll be like, okay, but you're going to sit here and do it with me because I'm not fucking this up, and then get the 3rd degree from you about it later. You're going to help me until I am confident enough that I don't need your help, and I will tell you when that is. Don't assume you think I'm ready when I'm not. Okay? Ask me. Respect the way I want to do things. Until I'm confident that I can do the stuff without asking your help. Like that one mower he showed me recently, and he said something along the lines of, fix this one up, sell it, keep the money. I'm like, okay, so what would be a good price to sell it for? What all does it need done? I don't know if he's taken it upon himself to fix that one or not. So I don't know. So 2 bank trips tomorrow, driving test for Christy, witch stores, and then home. Because by the time we get all that done, we're all going to be wiped out and ready to come home. And hopefully Christy will she'll pass. I know she will. She'll pass her driving test. And then they'll say, okay, do you want to go pick your ID up at the place across the street from us, or do you want to get it through the mail? So hopefully she'll choose, well, hey, I would say get it through the mail simply because I don't want our entire day ruined because we're over there waiting and there's a million fucking people in front of us. So, okay, Kalika, I'm sorry, but I have to. Ow! Oh, crap. Both of my legs are numb from the knee down. And Kalika was laying on my lap, and I hate it when she does that, when I have my legs like that, because it does not take long for my legs to fucking go numb. So, guys, you're going to have to bear with me a little bit while my feet wake up. So, but on a good note also, and I'm very grateful for this, I have a new witch family on IMVU. Yay! I keep forgetting the name of the coven. Emerald something or other, I think. But I have my own coven, Coven Moon Dance, which I would love to really start getting out there, maybe leaving some flyers that I handwrite myself. It's like, look, these are not going to be fancy. They're going to be pretty plain, but I'm looking for coven members. And the closer to my area they live, the better. So it won't be a difficult thing for them to get to me or us to meet at a park or some other public place where we can do ritual and not get ridiculed for it, or get troublemakers coming along and they just want to fuck with us. So, because some places will not be okay with you doing a Wiccan ritual out in public for anybody to see. So some of the time we may even have to go so far as if I could get a hold of the people up at Unity, Church of Unity off of 256 up in Reynoldsburg, and see about having some of the gatherings and meetings there, or the First Spiritualist Temple downtown, catty corner from Grant Hospital. Like Grant's over here, the church is like right here, so they're really close. And at least Carol is still there of that church, and Carol knows me. And maybe as early as next Wednesday, I am going to try to go to the church service they have at 6:30, which is, I call it a gathering of readings, it's a spiritualist gathering where they go into a meditation, they pick a section of a Bible or whatever to read from, but don't worry, it's only the good Bible. It's nothing like satanic shit or anything like that. We don't do that. And very possibly, and I'm hoping this is the case, because I think it's time, I feel that it is, I need to talk to Carol of the First Spiritualist Temple and see and let her know and be able to show her, which I will have to find my information to show her, including my ID that proves I'm clergy, and see if she won't let me start doing sermons there at the First Spiritualist Temple. If she agrees to it, gives me a test run, or something, great, and I ace it, great. And it's like, even if, just let me fill in sometimes when, like, if there's like 2 of you meant to be here and only 1 can show up and you really have nobody else, then call me, see what I'm doing. I'll try to come and do it. do the sermon. My hope is that once I get reestablished there, and start going to the psychic fairs again, which is the first Saturday of every month. It's now $20 to get in per person. And me, Christy, and Norma have been talking about wanting to go there. I just don't know how soon. Like, I don't want to say the first Saturday of May because that would be literally this weekend. Maybe we should. I'll take a deck of cards with me. Take my little witch kit or something. But no, a lot of people aren't going to be okay with the pot cards. So I'll probably take like I've got so many decks. I've got a Rider-Waite deck. I've got like, what is it, 2 or 3 of the same deck now. I've got a big one that's the cards are bigger, but it's the same thing. The foils. For any of you that collect like Pokemon or Magic the Gathering or anything like that, you know how important what the foil cards look like. Like those are the special ones. Those are the ones that have all the shiny, shimmery stuff. And I don't have anybody to play Magic the Gathering with. I've got a crap ton of cards. I just don't have anybody to play it with. I don't know anybody that knows how to play it. But I get established at the Spiritualist Temple. It'll be a start. I'll be able to do sermons there, hopefully become a regular member, like be Carol's second, kind of like Carol was Nancy's, and Nancy Pinyard, she's been gone. Go to the psychic fair, let Christy know about it, say, are you by chance free this Saturday? Because they're going to have a psychic fair at the First Spiritualist Temple, and I want to take you to it and tell me what you think about it. Not saying you have to go with me on Sunday to church, but I may start doing sermons here, and being a tarot reader myself, and just, ask for donations. Or no, I would be like $20 a reading, period. Even if they sit down and they only want a 1-card daily message, $20. If they want a 3-card past, present, future, $20. If they want a 10-card Celtic cross lay, which is a very extensive tarot reading that a lot of people use, it's a circle, and then it's got a line over here. So they call it the Celtic cross because the circle part, and it's so big that you can't put the circle part on top of the end. So they have the wand part over here, and then they have the circle over here. Cards, $20. I will also put out there to people and put it on my sign. I do psychometry. I do psychic. I do paranormal. I do angelic. But just think about, ow, lay down, no claws. Stop with the claws, Kalika, you know better. And I don't want you making me yell at you because Daddy is trying to sleep. Ow! I'm gonna fucking smack you. That fucking hurt. Let me guess. Now you're wanting to fucking lay over there, right? Because you just want to be a bitch. Be a pain in the ass. Lay the fuck down, will you? Forgive me for yelling at my cats, guys. But like I said, I'm going through a lot right now. And when I'm doing a live stream and I'm in the middle of... and she's bugging me, I just get so agitated with her. Start doing the psychic fair every month. Get paid for that. Just see how many people sit down and have me do a reading for them. And each month, I'll take a different deck. I'll take notebook paper. I will take names. I will take addresses, phone numbers, if they trust me with such a thing. I will start passing out my my paranormal business cards. Lay down. Quit snagging my top. Lay your ass down. You're making me mad. Psychic fair, $20 for each of us to get in. They usually have a potluck kind of thing there, I think, where you can have food and drink. And there's different people that have different talents. They even have some stuff for sale usually. So that might be a place where I can start selling some of my resin pieces. And just when it comes to the wands and stuff, just tell people they're just decorative. They're just crystals and herbs. There's nothing dangerous. And I just thought it looked nice. And I can do all these colors. And, you can put, because the wands are the way they are, and they're the only wands I have right now for like molds, resin molds. I would have to make 2 batches of the same mold and then take the 2 that match and take the flat, because one side's flat, the other side is like, you can feel it. It's like, I don't know if that's considered 2-dimensional or what, but you take the flat pieces, glue them together. Make sure you use something that's really good, like Gorilla Glue or something like that. I've got like a whole set of zodiac pendants I can do. All 12 of the zodiac signs in different colors. I have a god and goddess little disc thing you could use on the altar. Jewelry boxes, square plane, round zodiac. The round zodiac ones have all the zodiac signs around it, and you get 2 lids with the round ones. One has the sun on it, the other has a pentacle, and then I put crystals in that, and I put colors, and I put glitter, and I put herbs, and different things, but nothing dangerous or anything like that ever. Learn different combinations of things, like different types of herbs that can be good for health and love and job and house and just all kinds of stuff. So they have stuff for sale there. If you get any readings done, you can pretty much go to any table you want or as many as you want. Don't remember if they charge anything or not, or if most of them just ask for donations. But when Carol starts letting me do it, then I'm going to tell her straight up $20. I'll do a single daily card. I'll do the past, present, future, which is 3, and I will do the 10 card spread. But if somebody wants the extended Celtic Cross, which is 5 additional cards, and then of course I'll have to explain what that means, 25, because $1 for each extra card. The 5 are earth, air, fire, water, spiritual transformation. So you get additional advice from the elements, literally. And if you do what earth, air, fire, and water suggest, you will achieve spiritual transformation. So you go earth, air, fire, water, and then spiritual. You put a single card in between those 4, and that's your spiritual transformation. So it takes longer to read everything to them. I would have to have a book just as a backup if I start fumbling or, get like overly excited, because this will be like literally the first time I've done anything like this since the very first Marcon that I went to, where I finally came out of the proverbial tarot closet. And I had a lot of people that day sit down, and I made a decent little bit of money, but it wasn't a whole lot, but it was something. I think it was like $47 or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, I ended up spending most of that for like bits and bubbles and the vendor, shit. And of course they would have celebrities there. And I cannot believe that I did not recognize for a second the guy that used to play Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica. And I was like, oh my God, that's the blonde guy. Oh my God. can't believe I missed him. I didn't know who he was. And I remember walking up to the table or near the table, and I did not know who he was. I should have asked somebody, who is that? Oh, I played Starbuck on Battlestar Galactica. You mean the blonde, yummy guy? Yeah. Oh my God, when I was a kid, yeah, I had the biggest crush on you. I'm sure he's heard that a million times. And there was a brunette guy, too. I forget what his name was. And Tiggy, not Tiggy, but Twiggy. I love Twiggy. Twiggy's cool. Let's see. Twiggy. That was Twiggy, right? Or was that? I'm getting them confused. Battlestar Galactica. No, that was the dog. They had a mechanical dog. I forget what its name was, but it was so cute. I never got any Battlestar Galactica stuff. But I found out after Marcon who that was, and I went, what? I was so upset. But anyway, so this will be a chance for me to do readings again. This will be a chance for me to make some extra money. And a lot of it I'm probably going to be spending there at the fair anyway. Start going to the Wednesday night group again. Find me a Bible that I'm comfortable taking. Which I would most likely take my little green one from when I was in Marysville. And at some point along the way on my journey there, I ended up getting in with a group that were very spiritual. And they seemed like decent enough folk. And they were the ones that did the full submersion baptism for me. I remember putting on the white robe. I remember walking down into the pool of water, and there was like dead bugs floating around and shit and flies, but I didn't care. And that they gave me that Bible. And because I have the witch's Bible, but that would be something that I would have to get permission to be able to do or not do. And I would have to ask Carol because she's been there the longest. It'll give me also a chance and a platform to perform private ceremonies. Dang it. Hand fastings, legal marriages, but for that to happen, I'm going to have to go down a couple days ahead of time if I can. Sometime during the week, take the car, make sure it's not going to be needed by Chris or anybody. Okay. No more of that. I took a gummy, and I took it about 9:30, and it's like a couple minutes after 11 now. So time to stop smoking and just enjoy the buzz from the gummy because it's definitely kicking in by now. At least should be. Sorry, guys. my vocal cords so strained. Because of overuse. And that's why sometimes I will go and I'll whisper, do a whisper. And my volume on the 2-in-1 here is full all the way up. So I'm hoping to make some extra money that way, but I'm going to have to go downtown to the courthouse. I'm tired of waiting on Chris. He's never going to do it. He's never going to remember. And right now, I'm sure he could care less. And it may sound like I'm being mean, but I'm not. I'm just stating facts. His health is steadily declining, and he's making me watch him slowly die. And I'm not okay. It's just too much, and I certainly don't want to make the situation worse, So I really have to be careful and mind my P's and Q's so I don't get snapped at for no reason. But there is a paper that I'm going to have to also make sure I have money. And it will be little to nothing to get it. But it is a paper that I have to get to basically give me the legal state legal right, which is all I need. That's all that's holding me back. And get my paper and be able to show that to Carol. I'm going to frame it, and I'm putting that on my wall because that will be a major achievement for me. And well deserved, okay? Start performing ceremonies for people, hand fastings, private ceremony. You can charge as little as $500. A handful of people, small wedding, nothing fancy smancy. The couple decide if they want to do their own vows or if they want vows to be made up or whatever. But a lot of times, the way of the world now is that people more and more like to do their own vows. Which is fine because it gives it more meaning, it makes it more personal. And I'll be able to make some serious money. I will I might even go so far as to open a new account when that time comes and I'm making that kind of money through Capital One. That is a business account. And anytime I do ceremonies for people, like I said, hand fastings, engagements even, anniversaries, take that money and put it in the business account. And don't touch it unless I choose to. I will definitely start putting big chunks of that money on my fun money card. Now, some of you may think, what do you mean by fun money? That is simply a card that I put money on, that I use. however I want, on whatever I want, whenever I want. Because I've got to find ways to cleverly spread it out so that SSI can't say, oh, what's this? You have a business account now. Oh, let's see how much is in it. Why didn't you report this to us? Yank. There goes my check. Then screwed. Get my state paper, start performing those ceremonies, break the money up onto several cards, and there's not a damn thing SSI can do about it. They can fuck with your Capital One. They can check into that. What is that? Does that say Ted Wise? I think it did. I gotta keep it down, and I am going into a whisper because even though I'm trying to talk kind of low, so I apologize for that, but I don't exactly have a soundproof room or office or studio I can go in and do these. And I tried to do a live stream down at Norma's earlier, and it just would not hook up to the internet. So I'm like, great. So we just found another way to celebrate it. It's no big deal. Mostly we just sat down there and talked. I did a 1-card daily reading for her. I did a 10-card for myself and a 1-card. And then mostly we just sat there and talked about whatever, struck our fancy. And it gave me a chance to use one of my newest tarot cloth things that you can lay your cards out, and it's all fancy. And so, let Carol be there this Saturday. Let her be in excellent good spirits and be willing to talk to me. And I will show her my portfolio thing, my little, I call it soft briefcase that I keep my clergy stuff in. And including my card, my ID card that says I am legal clergy. Have my state paper with me when I do a ceremony, so everything's being done proper. Or most likely, what I'll do is I'll just make up my own because, okay, this bag, when I originally got it for the first time, it's got a chick, it's here, and then a skull dude on a motorcycle. Yeah. This I used as a pot bag. All I would ever carry in here would be doobie stone, couple of pipes, couple of lighters, pokey thing to clean it out when it needs it, screens, and of course bud. I have now turned this into my on-the-go witch pack so that I have the absolute bare essentials in here, minus I haven't found a way to put any oil in here yet. But because of the type of candles I'm using, I'm just using little votives that are like that big. Some votives are smaller, some, not so much. This is a tarot journal that I got from Temu, but it only does 1 card. I mean, you can take this little white box and you can write down different layouts, I suppose, but to me, it seems like it only does 1 card, but I don't know. I guess use it as at your discretion. This is full size. See, parchment paper that I got from my mom. I borrowed, so I will replace it at some point in the future. She'll never even know any of it's missing, because it's just another one of those many things that she has around her house that she's never going to use, that she looks at a million times a day, and the minute you borrow any of it or take it all together, suddenly she's like, where's my stuff? Where's my parchment paper? Blah, 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 and it just goes into this whole messed up, crappy thing I don't want to deal with. Okay. I have been trying to play catch up. This is a planner for 2025. And I also got that from Temu. And where am I? Okay. I'm in this one. Gratitude. Make sure I didn't miss any pages. Daily planning. Yeah, the only thing I was able to sensibly do with that was turn it into a daily journal. Okay, my happy moment, gratitude. I am grateful for a positive quote, little note to myself, and over here, grocery items. I have been trying to, every so often, play catch up. It's not midnight yet, so color of the day is still blue. That's some kind of Subway stuff that might not even be any good now. I don't know. All right. Date. So sometimes I just try to utilize the space as best I can. And we have, whoops, get in there. Please tell me they didn't fall out again. Shit, one of them did. Just hell, the cats have been fucking cat hair all over it. This is a tray, basically a lap tray, but it's also designed. It's got these legs that fold out. Get all my wires undone here. And the whole idea is, it's got four USB. It's got four USB. The little white plug is the tray itself. Comes with this little fan that you put it in one of the USB ports over here, and it's bendable. So if you want like that little bit of cool breeze because it's too warm or something in here, because sometimes this place can get that way. And it also comes with this. Also fits into a USB, and it's a light that's also bendable. So that way when you're doing stuff at night, if you need that little bit of extra light, it's like basically having a book light, more or less. You can set a cup over here, but it has to be a size of obvious that fits in the hole. And then over here in the back, the slot that you saw, that's where you can set a tablet, a 2-in-1, or whatever. I tried to put Pinky in it. I wasn't able to do it. Hang on a minute. I'm kind of getting a funny feeling in the center of my chest. Trying to decide if I want to take some Pepto-Bismol. I hope I'm not having a bad reaction to the gummy that I took earlier, and I basically took half, so And that's one of the 150 ones. Like literally, I don't like it when. Give me a minute. I start hurting in the center of my chest. Gas me going. That's what this is. Gas me going. That's what this is. Gas me going. That's what this is. Sometimes you get gas pains trapped in your chest, and it literally feels like something's stuck right in the middle of your chest. It's not a very comfortable feeling. And then I'm feeling gassy in my stomach. Like maybe I gotta, not to be indelicate or crude, but I may have to go to the bathroom and sit down for a few minutes. Maybe the only way I can get rid of this gas. Because when I get gas like this, and especially when I get it in my chest and my stomach, I have to get it out. I don't have any Gas-X right now, or I would excuse me, I would have already taken it. Bad combinations of things that you eat and drink during the day too. Like I've had pop today. I think I had Kool-Aid, and now peach tea. Yeah. Had tomato soup and grilled cheese for dinner, and couldn't finish all of my tomato soup before I was full. Okay, I'm gonna yeah, I've done it this way before, but you gotta get it on there a certain way. Sorry about that. Trying to pretty sure that's for like a pen. I suppose it could be for a stylus. Alright. Wash after using. So sometimes this is the only relief I get. This Pepto-Bismol's got, like, I feel like it's a bad batch. So, I'm gonna have to turn to the side to do this. Okay. My happy moment. My latest happy moment. Which would have been yesterday and the 29th. Because there's... Okay, so today is 5/1/25. Okay, a positive quote. Sorry, this is some stuff I need to get done. It's part of me trying to get stuff caught up because I get so far behind sometimes because there's just, too much going on around me and I can't keep up. The stuff I'm writing is personal, so. Little quote to myself. Now on this side. And groceries. And then they have like little notes down here you can do. So I will skip over that one. And here's another one that says groceries. Huh. Didn't realize I'd gone through here and done this much. I'm glad I did though. I love this book. It's like it's a witchy workbook, but it's uplifting, positive, kind of like a way to, give yourself some self-love. And let's face it, we all need that right now. Because until you can truly love thyself, you cannot truly love another. Get your own shit right. If you have baggage and you're going into a relationship with somebody and they have baggage, work through that shit before you become a couple. Take it from me. I'm in it right now. It is not going well. Just doing little notes, positive things, good job today. Writing more personal stuff. Let's see. Sorry for the quiet, guys, but I'm trying to give this Pepto-Bismol a chance to work. I don't like this feeling in my chest. There's sermons. Okay. Please make this feeling go away. It's really starting to scare me. I don't like this feeling in my chest. It's scaring me. And my stomach was just grumbling. Okay. Something has something's messing with my stomach. I'm gonna have to take a break. I will leave this running. Hope you get some interesting manifestations or sounds. Yeah, I'm gonna take that and clean it up. All right, guys, I'm back in the room, at least. Just don't mind me. I'm looking around for something. I think I'm just going to have to go get a paper towel or something. Well, sorry that took a minute, but at least the feeling seems to be subsiding that I was feeling in my chest a few minutes ago, and it was scaring me. And okay, this is just dish towel. But rather than dirtying up a towel, sometimes I'll just borrow one from we've got so many dish towels. Right now I'm just folding me up some paper towels right now because I'm going to find a way to keep small thing of them out here because I've been using the method of dabbing the cold sore blisters with cold water every time I wash my hands, and just put some water and dab, and then use like something like a paper towel or dish towel or a hand towel, in the bathroom. I have to find a container to put them in that is preferably something that can be sealed. A bag of sorts that don't have a bunch of holes in it so that the roaches can just crawl right in and here there's another place to infest. Yes, that's exactly what I need. I almost never do this, so but here lately I've been doing a lot of bit cleaning. Most of the time, that's all the energy that I have for any given time. One more thing I need to grab. Watch how fast Boo ends up in here. Him and Bella seem to always know when Mommy's getting out food. Especially when it's meat. Sometimes late at night. Here he comes. I'll do what I call nighttime snack before bed. Cold hot dogs, yellow mustard. Whatever mustard of your choosing, really. These happen to be among my favorite because they're called chili cheese dogs. Sit down, be a good boy, and I'll give you a bite. See that black and white head popping up? That's Boo. Not yet. I got a couple more bites. Wait a minute. These are chili cheese, so that means they're cheese filled. But it's cheese that you taste in chili that has just that perfect little bit of bite. Not over much. Just right. I try not to do this too often. Here. And if he's a good boy, I'll take the last bite, the last piece, tear it in half, and give it to him because there's some things going on with Boo. That are of high concern. Since we got Boo. Any of you that have saw my live streams previous to this one. Boo is a rescue. Almost. Hang on a minute. There was a couple ladies in our building that were a mother and daughter. Jen and Faith. Jen was the younger. Faith was her mom. Sorry, trying to chew. There you go. Here. There you go. Jen is a Leo. There's the other one. Go get it. Here, look. Here's the other piece. There you go. Jen is a very mentally, emotionally, and spiritually she's psychotic. She is racist, abusive, verbally, demanding sometimes, and she was in her 20s. I remember that. I'm pretty sure it was 20s. They had Boo here in the only bedroom in these tiny one-bedroom apartments. They kept Boo shut in the bedroom all the time, like all the time. And as you well know, that's animal abuse and cruelty. When they first moved in, they lived right across the hall from us. For the longest time, we were under the impression that Faith, her mother, was the bad guy here. But it was never Faith. It was always Jen. She is a very badly mentally, emotionally, and spiritually disturbed young woman. I say young because as far as I know, she's like in her 40s by now. I don't know, 30s, somewhere around there. Lips are chapped. And I don't have my chapstick handy. And even if I did, I'd only be able to put it on my bottom lip until these damn things heal. So Boo here, when Jen and Faith lived across the hall from us on the same floor that me and Chris are on, I was always hearing this poor, beautiful little child here crying endlessly because he just wanted out of that room. That was like, it was an oversized cage to him. He didn't understand why he had to stay in there. What had he done wrong? He did nothing wrong. According to Jen and Faith, he was a rescue when they got him. But this poor animal went through a lot. And one day, it finally to me and Bast so bad. And yes, I mean Bast as in the goddess of cats. Egyptian, the whole thing. But he was crying constantly. And he just wanted out of that room. I told Faith one day I went across the hall to visit. And I said, get that animal out of the room now. I'm going and getting Boo. So I went and got him out of the bedroom. I was holding him in my arms in front of the bedroom door, right in their dining room. Faith was behind me. Jen was in front of me. And I remember clearly, as tears were streaming down my face, I said, you guys need to let this cat out of this room. You either let him have the whole apartment to live in and run in, or give him to me, or give him back to the shelter you got him from, or whatever, and give another family a chance to take him that would love him and cherish him. And, you know, he was a beautiful, beautiful cat when we first got him. He still is, but he had nice weight. He's very furry, you know, always very furry, and he's an American curl. So we think he may have been a show cat at a very young age. And the people that had him couldn't use him because of the deformity of one of his ears that wasn't curled the way it was supposed to be. So it disqualified him and they got rid of him. Talk about heartbreaking and sad, and just why as humans are so many of us that cruel. I will never understand. I will never I don't know how they can do it. How they can hurt an innocent life like that has done nothing but just wanted to be loved, wanted a good loving home, a good loving family, just like anyone. It could spend its days, you know. And because like when cats get put into shelters, that's the equivalent of a child going into foster care and getting bounced from foster care place to foster care place to foster care place. It's traumatizing to them. It's I wouldn't feel loved, wanted, needed, appreciated, you know, because they kept him in that damn room all the time. And he just would not stop crying, and I just couldn't take it anymore. So one day I finally went over there and I said, you got to let this cat out of this room now. Don't shut him in there anymore, because that's animal abuse. And you're lucky that somebody in the building hasn't turned you in already, because they could come and take it. Because if that's the way you're going to be with that animal that's already been traumatized from its first owners getting rid of him because he wasn't good enough, he wasn't American curl enough, they wanted him for a show cat just so they could make money. And when he got disqualified, they got rid of him. That's what we've been able to ascertain, just guesstimate. They let him out. I said, "You're killing this animal." As I held him in my arms and petted him, and it was the only way he would calm down is if I had him up against me. He knew. He kept crying, "Please, Mom, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. I'm stuck in this room all the time. I'm miserable. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?" I mean, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was just born. So anyway, through it all, after I had that little discussion with him that night, and tears streaming down my face, and I said, "I do not lie and fake feelings like this. When you see me crying, that's serious. Please listen to what I'm trying to advise you to do. You are killing this animal. Let him out, or find another home for him. Or if it comes down to it, you can give him to me. You know he'll get a loving home here. We've already got 3 cats, and they're fine." So finally, they stopped putting him in that damn room and let him run around in the apartment wherever he wanted. But then he had to hide a lot of times because Jen would just kick at him or something, or just be mean to him, and for no reason. He's such a good boy, and he was just so beautiful. Like I said, to me, he still is, but I'll explain here in a minute what I'm leading up to. But by the time we got Boo, we already had Bella, who is our other boy, our other male cat, and he's part Maine Coon. But to me, he's all Maine Coon, period. But if Chris was to hear me say that, he would correct me, and then I'd want to punch him. He corrects me too much when I don't say things the way he thinks I should say them, or explain them, or I'm doing it wrong, Carmela and Kalika are girl cats, so our cat daughters. We got Kalika first, and then a year later, I think, came Carmela. When we got Kalika, she bonded we had Sonny Boy at the time. He was a solid black male cat that was 10 years old when we got him. He was fixed, I think, I'm pretty sure. And he was declawed in the front. And the family that had him lived in a housing complex somewhere way out north or something, I think it was. And they abandoned him and moved away in the middle of winter with no way to fend for himself, no way to fight for food, which a lot of times with those cats, it's scraps, just like a homeless person eating out of a trash can. And it's just heartbreaking to see, and even more painful to feel, because I feel it all. I feel the pain and suffering of the lost souls all around me in the neighborhood, people that have been violently killed over a drug deal gone bad, or any number of crazy ass things that happen in the world anymore. Too many of them are bad. Time for some happy, time for some positive, uplifting, giggle, be silly, play with Barbies again, So thanks, guys, for reminding me that this Saturday is literally the first Saturday of May, so they're going to have the psychic fair, and we're going. I hope that giving Christy enough notice tomorrow, she will agree to call off sick or something, say she needs a personal day because she's trying to help her her sister move her stuff into the storage or something, and it's the least they can do is back her up if needed, because she let us, we had to come over to her place today to get our stuff out of her van because she had a driving test the next day, and we didn't want to mess it up for her because she had a bunch of stuff in the back, because that would just, we don't want it to count as points against her, because a lot of that depends on the driver and what kind of either asshole they're going to be, or if you're lucky on the very rare occasion that they're actually nice. Good luck with that one. So by the time Boo came along, I don't even remember how long we had him before Carmela and Kalika, both our girl cats. They're half sisters. They were born a year apart. Kalika, she was princess in the life before this. I'll explain that in a minute. She's like, oh God, I don't even know how old she is now. I want to say 4 or going on 4 or something like that. And Carmela's a year younger, so Carmela's probably about 3. But anyway, I've been finding out some very disturbing things about YouTube and its fucked up policies, and I don't like what I'm hearing. But because I don't get on here often, there will be times when I will, and then other times when I won't. Carmela and Kalika started picking on Boo, is what I was trying to get at. They started picking on him, trapping him in the litter box, trapping him in a corner somewhere where he had nowhere to go. And it seemed like every day became a fight for his life. And every time me or Chris catch the girls doing that, we always yell at them. And we don't want to have to do that. They know better. But they just won't stop. We don't know how old Boo is. We don't know how old Bella is. The last time we took them to the vet was several years ago. It was summertime. I remember we had Carmela and Kalika in the biggest cage together that we had of the cat carriers. Bella was in one by himself that was as big as we could scrounge up. And then Boo was in the smallest because it was a soft carrier. So poor Boo kept shaking and crying and was so scared. And that floor was so cold. And he was just a shivering, and the poor thing was just terrified. Me and Chris were in the room with him. We had taken him in for flea treatments, I think it was. They checked him over, and if you ask them, what do you approximate their ages to be? Because we need to know. Because now we're thinking, well, Bella's more obvious than Boo was at first. But Boo is so skinny and scrawny. And he's poor. It seems like he's always pulling his fur out. And the girls they still keep picking on him. They won't stop. And I don't know what to do short of calling upon Bast sometime here soon when I feel up to it. Have her channel through if she would honor me with such an experience again. And help me to write a spell that will just help them get along. Discourage them from bullying Boo anymore. Just accept him. Be loving. Be happy to have 2 brothers. Be happy for your home. The human family that has taken you in. So it could be stress. a lot of what he's doing, he can't eat hardly. I mean, he eats and drinks, but it seems like sometimes he gorges himself so badly because sometimes, like when he's trying to get food, Carmela or Kalika will be sitting there intimidating him, like basically in their own way saying, "No, you can't touch my food. That's my food." And they would deny it. They would keep him from food. Probably mess with him when he's just trying to even get a drink of water. A lot of times I'll come out in the middle of the night to use the bathroom or something, and he's sleeping on the counter where the coffee pot is, and that counter space is probably no bigger than about yay. And it's just this little tiny square, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know how he does it, but then it's like every day is a blessing, and I just try to be decently gentle with him when I pet him because he's so frail now, and he's too skinny, and if there's something wrong with them, I would rather have the money to be able to take them all to a vet, even if it means one a month. Put the money aside, start doing the mowing for Miss Linda when I get into it enough and I get my body used to it to where I can zip through her yard in no time. Then I'll take on a second yard, and then I'll take my time with that yard and I'll ask for $20. But say if that yard is bigger, then I'm going to ask for 25 or 30 because it's like, look, I'm the one out here busting my ass to mow your lawn. Make it worth my time. Okay. But it's not like I'm charging you $100 an hour to mow your lawn. I'm asking for $20, at the most 25 or 30. But if it's a really big lot, then I'd be like, well, you better be planning on giving me at least 100 for this one because this is going to take a lot because of, one, the weather, whatever it might be, unless it's in my favor. God's willing, it will be. So say I, because I'm a demigoddess. Long story, can't explain, not even going to try, still wrapping my own head around it. But it has a lot to do with the whole fact that I'm ethereal celestial. And I'm still figuring that out. I'm still coming to grips with what that means. It's nothing bad. It's just like, ethereal celestial? What? Doesn't that mean I'm not human? Demigod. Demi, meaning part human, part God, kind of. But that doesn't mean I'm out there trying to announce myself. I can't, and lightning shoots out of my fingertips and makes the day go well, or zaps an enemy, or whatever. So I'm worried about Boo. I think a lot of it is stress. I think a lot of it is the fact that maybe he's just older than we realize, and it's natural for him to be this frail. But what keeps him going? I'm glad he does every day that I wake up and he's still here is a blessing. But I feel so bad because I wish we could afford to take better care of them. And in so doing, commit to it and give them the longest, happiest, healthiest life we can possibly give them. They're already spoiled rotten. Daddy gives them treats every day. I literally mean every single day. At a prescribed time, usually around 4 in the afternoon or so. And then he'll go in and start doing the dishes. He'll put away the dry ones first. Then he'll get the wash water ready. Then he'll put the newest ones in. He'll stack them all nice and neat on that tiny ass little. I'm going to take a tape measure and I'm going to measure that little square section that I'm talking about. And then you'll be like, and Boo, a fully grown cat, curls up on that and actually fits. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with this picture? He's too skinny. He's too skinny. He's too frail. If it comes down to he's just aging. Because, when humans get older, Like my mom, for instance, your skin starts shriveling, your body size starts shriveling, your body mass starts shrinking. It's like you slowly become the shrinking, human or something, and you get shorter. And I mean, I tower over fucking Norma, damn near. I mean, I'm at least like a half a head to maybe a full head taller than her, I think, because she's skinny too. She's got diabetes. She's Catholic, bless her, but she's also Wiccan. So yes, you can do both. But I advise you this. I'm not saying Catholicism is the way to go. If that's what feels right for you, that's what you should do. That's your spiritual path. For me, it's Wicca. A very popular misconception is Wicca is bad. No, it's not. You will never see a single true Wiccan walking this planet right now that does anything but good. Anybody that does negative shit or dark shit and claims to be Wiccan, they are not Wiccan. Okay? Avoid at all costs. I better go put this stuff up before I end up, I don't want the hot dogs to go bad because this isn't what we're down to. So. I'm just going to try to without making a mess. And yellow mustard. It's a container that's been sitting in the fridge for a while, and I think it needs to be transferred into this one because I like the fact that this one's a squeegee. I'm going to have to find a place to, as silly as this sounds. This is the size I'm going to. This is yellow mustard, but it has a bit of a bite to it, not over much, but something more along the lines that I can usually handle. It's just mustard, boo. I don't think you're going to like it, baby. When you're I think a fair category for us, me and Chris, is middle class. See, it's mustard. You don't like the mustard. I don't have any more food, okay? Come here. I want to show you off. See? Just there. This is our boo baby. He don't like to be picked up, as you can see. Mommy just wanted to show you off. Okay. Looks like it's roughly about half full now. Now I'm mixing these two together. Food conservation. This is a big bottle of yellow French's that we've had for what seems like ever. This is some type of organic yellow mustard I've never seen before. I don't even remember where we got that. We may have gotten that from shit. What is the name of that store? I always call it the Cassidy Herb Store or something like that. So the closest thing to anything remotely witchy, they have herbs that you can get there in bulk. But I don't need anything like that right now because I'm good. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the remnants as much as I possibly realistically can of this bottle, mixing in this bottle. So we will not only have a very unique try yellow mustard or try mustard yellow or something. But you gotta keep these upside down. And the best way to do that is let that do that for like several days at least. Now something like mustard, I mean, let's face it, when you go to the store and you buy mustard from the store, it's always hot, is it not? It has that seal on it, right? If the seal's on there, you take it off and then it's ready to go, right? Okay. If you ever get one where the seal's off, don't buy it. That's a given. That's just, old school. But any Cassidy Market, I call it. I was thinking of it and I just was like, I know what this is. I know what I'm trying to say. I call it Cassidy Market. It's actually the proper way, according to Chris, who's always correcting people when they say something wrong or what he feels is the wrong way. It's like Bexley's Natural Market or something like that. There's a coffee shop next to it, like a little cafe. And they had this $20 unicorn print eons ago, the last time that me and Chris ever went there. And that was so many summers ago. I honestly can't remember. But my point being, everybody has their own way of doing things, okay? I come from a long line of very conservative-minded, ecological, economically sound, but sometimes will do something a little dark on the side. I was getting that feeling that something I somehow is producing in my body a bunch of phlegm. And it shouldn't be from drinking anything dairy because I hardly drink any dairy. I don't even do milkshakes really anymore. So anyway, when I'm trying to get as many droplets of this out as I can, and the yellow one, I like to keep them upside down for a few days. And like each day, check it. You can check it first thing when you get up if you want. You can check it in midday, whenever it feels right for you. But leave them upside down. Even if you have to take a cup that's not being used right now, or a flower vase if you have nothing else. Something you can set it stationary, hold it straight up and down, and let gravity pull more of the product down into the lip. And then you put it in the bottle that you're already mixing two different types in. Because this bottle says Kroger yellow mustard. That one's organic. This one is French's. Kalika, will you please lay down? This is Princess. I call her Princess Kalika because She is my Princess Kalika. I believe I've told this story before, but it was so long ago. I know some of you may be new that come along and see this, and I hope I never get kicked off of YouTube, but I wish I could get 1,000+ followers so I could start getting monetary donations just so I could afford to live. Because right now it's easier said than done. Okay, everything is through the roof. You know, housing, jobs, gas, prices, groceries. Quit, Kalika. Please quit. Don't make me stick mustard in your nose. Well, that's interesting. Kalika, quit. Sometimes I gotta cut to the chase, you know. Kalika. Will you quit knocking my shit down, please? Quit! See, you can get, if you do this enough times. And this is why I try to give each time, I try to get as much out as I can. And then I shake the mix bottle so it blends it all together. I'm telling you, man. I hope I'm not destroying the good mustard by mixing bad with it, because that stuff might be outdated, because I honestly don't know how long it's been in the fridge. So I don't need to food poison myself. I have done that shit way too many times, and believe you me, I speak from experience when I say this, it is not a fun time. And what the hell did you knock down, you little brat? So there's a story behind Princess here that goes back. Let's see, he was 20, I was 24. I'm 56, 55, 54, 53, 52. So if I'm not mistaken, Adam Feinstein, Zephyr, my bio daughter with Adam Feinstein, formerly known Alicia Feinstein, recently changed, I don't know how long ago. Last year, me and Christy, my other witch sister in the building, she lives right next door to us. She's a Pisces, love her dearly. Me, her, and Norma are quite the trio. When we go out and have girls' day, it's a lot of fun. We try to make the most of it, you know. Today we're going to be doing payday for my mom, payday for Norma. Mom will give me the $20 with no problem, and understand and say I've given it a lot of thought. And since I haven't been able to give you a work day here lately because things have been so busy and chaotic, here's $20 for thank you for getting my money. Now, I can't promise I can do this every time, but it's like, Mom, you know, that's fine. I will try to adjust to that, but I need that money, and you really don't, because you've got several thousand stashed away, God knows where. And for what exactly? I mean, what is the true meaning behind why you have to have that much money? Okay, she's a Leo, and it gives her a sense of security. Just having the money, though, not having any inkling whatsoever to spend it, unless it is for a reason she herself, and only she, gives the okay to happen, or whatever. It's like, I was raised by a Leo. I don't know how I survived it. I I'm a Capricorn. I'm dinner to a lion, okay? But me and my mom, for the most part, she's 93, y'all, so yeah. Oh, sorry, princess story. Hold that thought, come back to it. Meow! Several years ago, back in my mid-20s, let's say, that should be a fair assumption, a fair estimate. I was running with the Coven Moon Dance crowd, and I miss those guys, you know. Steffi, I don't remember what her, Kafer, I think is what she called her. I had feelings for Steffi. She's lesbian, and she knew I had a crush on her. But you know, I valued our friendship even more, and usually she was with somebody else, so it's not like I'm gonna be the boyfriend stealer or the girlfriend stealer for that matter. That's just not me. So I have my own little clique of pagan friends. Some of the fondest memories I have of those pagan friends is the summers we would gather on Pagan Rock, which is a certain rock outcropping, and it's got this tiny little fucking cave. I mean, one person could literally just spend a day there, you know? But try to dress appropriately. Like if it's summertime and you're going to be wearing shorts and shit like that, make sure you spray yourself down damn good with off. If you can withstand something like jeans and a long shirt, fine, and then just do the bug spray later when the sun goes down, whatever. And it's the Pagan Rock is, or where it used to be, I don't know about now, that they may have destroyed it, or you can't access it anymore because they did finally build a stairwell down to Hayden Falls. And Hayden Falls is the closest, most beautiful, historical falls we have here in good old Columbus, Ohio, the white honky state. Just trying to be funny, but sometimes it's what it feels like. It's like we're just a bunch of honky country hicks. What we doing in the city? Beverly Hillbillies and all. Pagan Rock. We would, group of us, I always saw it as our own personal little Dungeon and Dragons group. We had an elf, and I know he was for real. I'm sorry, but I just do, and I fell so hard for that guy. I was just stupid over him, and I couldn't have him. He didn't want anything to do with me, or he was gay. I can't remember. Or it was one of those occasions he was always with somebody. And this was before me and Chris met. So this was back when I actually was single, and I was also kind of trying to take a break from the whole KM disaster. If you want to know what that means, I'll talk about it sometime later, but not when this is supposed to be a celebration. But anyway, so long and short of it is Steffi and Kafer, Kay, her name was Kay, but Steffi called her Kafer. They became a lesbian couple, and I remember Steffi got a dragon done on her back, and I mean, Steffi was a twig. She was, I used to be so jealous of her. Oh, my DD group, right. See, we had an elf, we had several witches, I'm sure, several wizards, and some fae. Because elvish and fae, to me, is a similar bracket. Okay. Steffi was working security somewhere, some remote rural place out in the country for some company or something. It was a security card business that her lady love Kay was in, And she was the boss over a lot of them. She was the boss over Dave. She was the boss over, who else was it? I know it was such a fun group, it really was. But the last time I remember hanging out at that house, it was on Duncan. It was a double. On one side, there was a very powerful witch. On the other side was the, I call it the chaos group. But it was witchy chaos. It was pagan. It was Dungeons and Dragons style, for real. I mean, I'm telling you, if you would have seen the guy that I'm thinking of, that I've got a crystal clear picture of in my head right now, you would have fallen for him too. You would have been like, oh my God, he's fucking for real. He really is an elf. Oh my God. You would, you just know, you just know. And with that knowing comes, you get great rewards, certainly, but don't abuse the power. Because if you do, I mean, that's like taking a loaded you-know-what to your you-know-what and unaliving yourself. I really loved that group. I really loved our pagan ventures that we would go on and parties we would have and their side. And I was looking for a mate. Couldn't find anybody that was even remotely interested in me, except this one chick named Rose, which I remember I was pregnant at the time. Who was I pregnant for? Might have been David. And my feet were just like killing me. And my ankles were swollen and I was just in so much pain. Rose, she was tall, skinny, curly hair, absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm pretty sure I fell for her the first time I saw her, the first time I laid eyes on her, but I knew that she had a reputation of being a slut bitch hoe. She'd fuck anybody, male, female, didn't matter. Both, she didn't care. It was like the woman was a walking fucking ecstasy tablet or fucking Spanish fly or something. She wanted to fuck all the time. I was pregnant. My back was hurting. Don't remember if it was David. I'm pretty sure it was David I was carrying. So that would have been 94, 93, somewhere around there. I was getting pretty far along. I think I was like 7 months at the time or something. So I knew it was going to happen soon. And Salem West, H.A. Drew. Anyway, Steffi was, sorry. She was working her shift one night at the security place, right? Princess walked into the guard shack and just decided she was going to lay down and just make herself at home. And this was her place. And, she wanted some company. You wanted some company. It made your night go a little better. And you had a little friend, She was a wildcat. She was a stray. She must have belonged to somebody once because she was beautiful. And it was like she found her way to Steffi so that Steffi would bring her to me because it was me she was trying to find. No one else mattered to her. She wanted me. She's my familiar. I've had her many lifetimes. That lifetime, back when I was still in Marysville, Princess was my girl. I could put her out during the day or like put her out at night. And then when she was ready to come in, sometime during the day, whenever she felt like it. But she always came back. She always came back. and she knew where home was. She, every time I would do ritual, she would lay down next to me. And I actually had a picture of her when I was doing a ritual one time on literally my living room floor in my trailer. When I get the money, I am going to commission that same trailer again, but this time I'm not going to just make it a double wide. I'm going to make it a triple. And I don't care where we're living at the time or who of us are living together and the way things are looking. It's going to be me, Christy, and Norma. I just hope Christy never changes her mind, and I hope Norma can be with us long enough till we can find another person to replace her when she's close to, she could go at any minute, her time's up, her number's up, and I remember very clearly that Princess here and that life, the way she's laying on my lap right now was her favorite way to lay on my lap. She wouldn't lay on my whole lap. She would just lay on the one leg. And sometimes it was my left leg, sometimes it was my right, depending on what piece of furniture I was sitting on. And I'm gonna rebuild. I'm gonna build that house again, and I will name it 65 Aspen Drive, and it will be a new moon trailer, or I'll name it something else, something personal to me. I'll think of something when the time comes. But anyway, so this is how she would lay on my lap. And the picture I got of Princess, that life, she was, had my witchy circle set up on the floor. You could clearly see I had candles burning, incense, the whole thing. I forget what kind of ritual I was doing at the time. But anyway, Princess, she just instantly became my cat. Steffi just knew. Give her to Janet. She's meant for Janet. And then my pagan group, yeah, Rose, I fell for her hard, but I didn't want to be hurt. I didn't want to be used and then just chucked aside, like so many have done me. Usually men, but at least two for definite sure that were women that I really loved, that I would have liked a fair chance with, but it just wasn't in the cards. And that would be Sherry Dixon and Stephanie. It's at least two. I mean, I'm sure there's others, but Sherry's gone now. Her son, I think, became a priest. I'm following him on TikTok, I believe. I hope he's doing okay. But see, look at all the fucking roaches. This is just. You guys. I'm glad you guys can't see them. It's embarrassing. It's fucking humiliating, and it's just not going away. And even though we got on the wish list for senior options, it could be 6 months or longer before anything happens. We need the help now. Literally, tomorrow is not soon enough. Okay. But yeah, it's disgusting. So, Princess in my Marysville life. She was fully grown when I got her. I never got to see her grow up. And that was my greatest wish. Because I don't know how she found me. I don't know what kind of journey she went on. It kind of reminds me of Homeward Bound. And I guarantee you that's why I cry to this day and why I would watch that again. Because I believe it's two dogs and a cat that get separated from their family their human family. Their human family moves away, and they go on this journey across the world basically to find their family again. And they get themselves in some scrapes, and they almost die more than once. And I forget who does the voices. I think the voice for the cat, if I remember right, because the cat was female, was Roseanne Barr or something. Back when she was, I don't know, maybe decent, or hell, maybe she just did the gig because she got paid. Who knows? She's such a bitch. Anyway, when Princess would lay across my lap back then, my favorite pose that she would sometimes lay would be like this. And I always called her Miss Regal Paws, because she had her paws crossed in just such a, exquisite ladylike way. I just thought it was adorable. And she was my baby, But I'm hoping that this is the truth. And I'm warning you now, this might cause me to tear up. It usually does. Because every time I talk about it, I'm revisiting that time. So I feel the emotion. I feel how sad I was, how devastated. And I cried and cried over her. I think what happened was Princess was at the end of her time. She knew she was dying. I don't remember how long I had her, or for how many years, but she was fixed too, because I remember she was really heavy. And not overly heavy for a cat, just the kind of heavy they get when they're, eating field mice. And because that's how Princess would come. She would come out of this field or something, I think Steffi said. And she'd always come right to the guard shack. And she became their mascot, and they came up with the name Princess because of some characteristic personality trait about her that Princess, just like Tiggy popped out of my mouth when Norma got Tiggy, and how special she is. She's short and fat like me. It's adorable. Not really. I mean, ow! That hurts, mean ass. Kalika, when she decides she's done being on my lap, she'll jump down sometimes, and end up digging her claws into me in the process. Oh, wow, we've almost been on here 3 hours. I want out of this house, this tiny ass apartment that's falling apart around my ears. Anyway, one day Princess didn't come back. And I never knew what her fate was. And somehow I had this deep feeling that she did what she did because she didn't want me to suffer the pain of watching her die or finding her dead. She got hit by a car. I mean, somebody poisoned her. I didn't want to know, but it hurt me greatly. But there was other cats that came along, kept me going. I had Oreo for a while, Pan, Celine, Salem, to name a few. I never knew what Princess's fate was. Years later, when I feel that I have pretty much finally healed from it as much as I can, every way I can. When our good friend Harold Roddy was still around, he's passed. His spirit's still here, but he passed fairly recently, and I wasn't able to go. to the funeral. So that hurt me a lot. And I'm glad that he was so understanding. His spirit said, "It's okay, Janet, I understand. I didn't want to go around his family because that was his funeral. And I just don't think I would have been able to hold my tongue because of how badly they treated him, how they tormented him and abused him. When they knew he was blind, his own sister and his nephews at the time, or whatever, I guess, they put him in an abandoned fucking house in the middle of a fucking room that when you walked over the front porch and into the dwelling, there was a big ass hole, so you had to jump over it. Harold didn't even know where the fuck he was, and they just left him there. Sure, they would come and bring him groceries once in a while, but I don't know how often or anything. So somebody wouldn't find a dead body there because he just literally sat there and died of hunger and thirst. His own sister put him in an abandoned fucking house and just left him there. Back when Harold was still with us, and yes, I know you're here, and yes, I know I'm getting pretty tired, so I am trying to wrap this up because we've been on here over 3 hours. So, but I feel like this was kind of a little bit of a makeup. I'm sorry I didn't read any more about the dragon, but hopefully I'll be able to conclude that sometime today. Just don't know if I'm going to be able to do it like first thing in the morning when I wake up and whatever. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll be like, this is me in the morning. If you choose to stop the live and not watch it, I understand. Just don't put any mean comments in the chat saying bad things about me or hurtful things. I am still struggling with my weight, but I know it's a matter of the right kind of what word am I looking for? Learning to be more productive and active during the day. So anyway, one year I was doing a live stream down at Normia's. Harold was there. This was way before he died. And I always tried to let him know, and then sometimes I wouldn't, just for fun, that I was doing a live stream. And he just blurted out one day when I started talking about Princess. Not this version of her, the one that disappeared and I never knew what her fate was. I didn't want to know because I knew it would hurt me terribly. And it did. Harold, there was a lady down at the end of the trailer court because Sherry's trailer was on the very corner. And then if you crossed over the fence, there was this house. And there was a lady there, and you would always see all these cages outside. She was like Cambodian or something, and she would trap stray cats, kill them, gut them, skin them, chop them up, cook them in a stew. And Harold says to me that my cat died because a friend ate it. And I was like, what? I was like, I did not know Princess's fate. Are you telling me she purposely went to this lady? I never thought this lady a friend. And I could not think for a second who would be cruel enough. Oh, no. That fucking bitch. I bet that's exactly what happened. I bet Char did it. She killed Princess and ate her. because I just cannot for the life of me see or believe for a second that Sherry would be so cold, cruel, and heartless. But I could see Char doing it. But when he said eaten by a friend, betrayed by a friend, somebody that said they were your friend and then they killed your cat and you don't know, or they gave her to this lady that ate cats, and I was like, what? I knew exactly what lady was being spoken of, and I just, ugh, I did not want to know for that reason. And so Princess was right. She's like, sometimes, especially cats, I'm not saying dogs aren't any different, because probably not, but I actually witnessed this once, and, well, more than once, but one that I remember well. When I lived at 65 Aspen Drive in my New Moon trailer in Marysville, and Char was right next to me. She came to me, her and her slave boyfriend, Dan. His name was Dan Jenkins. He was a mailman. He had a rural, RURAL route with mail, so his shift took a lot longer. And because in Marysville, there was a lot of, at the time especially, there was a lot of rural routes. They approached me under false pretenses, and me and Adam had just moved in. This was the summer we moved in, I believe, to the trailer. Because once we saw it, we fell in love with it, and we had the money to get it, so we did. Adam started working a lot. As a matter of fact, it seemed like all he wanted to do was work. All the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. And the hell with me, or any responsibilities at home, or trying to be any kind of at least friend to my sons, Michael and David. So, to conclude, when Harold told me that story, I was devastated. All over again. And I know that he meant no harm, but I wish he would have held his tongue before he said it. Or that Char gave the cat to the lady and the lady killed it and ate her. That would be more Char's style. Evil bitch. I loved Char and fell under her spell of believing that she was truly my friend. I hope this isn't spoiled and I'm poisoning myself. This mustard just tastes... Oh! That doesn't taste right. I don't want to food poison myself here. I don't know. Stuff is just so different. Man, I like that box. I think I might keep that, hide it, wash it out, because I think I've got pretty much all out of here that I can possibly get. It's like, I mean, this shit is just so fucking thick. It's not even funny. I really hope. I hope this time Chris will let the bottles, keep them upside down in the fridge. Char used me, stole from me, stole from my daughter, who was just a youngling at the time. And because Zephyr was so tiny, Char was always locking herself out of her house. She was psychotic. She was a black arts witch, so totally evil. She would never do spell or cast magic of any sort on anyone for any reason unless she gained something from it. I was out in my garden one day. And this is that story. I was out in my garden one day planting some flowers. Adam was there with me. He was coming out. We were really in love back then and thought, hey, this is it. We got our own place. We're in Marysville. I'm close to Herman. So Herman can come and see Zephyr. And then Adam moved out and he moved over there by the one graders in that one apartment. And yeah, I'm not going to go into that. But anyway. Trying to select my words carefully. Ron, not Ron. Hi, Ron. How you doing? Lost my train of thought. Tired. Got a busy day, and it's 10 after 1 already in the morning. Okay, I got to keep checking the time up there because sometimes the live will shut itself off when it feels like it. So sometimes I get lucky enough to pass 3 hours, other times not. But anyway. I would rather have not known about Princess's fate because Tumbles was a female cat that Char had. Sharon. Fucking evil bitch. Oh, I know what I was saying. She would lock herself out a lot. Because Zephyr was so tiny and small and everything. And Char was so tall. She would just lift my daughter up into one of her tiny ass windows on the side of the trailer that connected our 2 yards because I'm surprised we didn't draw a line down the middle. I don't know. Actually, it was our front yard because their front yard was on the other side. Anyway, Yeah, that's why I keep trying to. It's after 1 o'clock in the morning. I need to keep it down because I know that I still tend to get loud sometimes, and I don't mean to get excited and reminiscing, especially when it's the good stuff. So Char would use Zephyr a lot to get into the house, into her trailer, and unlock the door from the inside. Char, she was very arrogant, egotistical, vain. I fell under her spell, and I really, truly was convinced that she was my friend. She also, on a good side, though, she had the ability, rather. Let's even out the energy here. Stop focusing on negative. There was a time when I had lost everything. I was in my trailer in Marysville, totally alone, dead broke, no money except for what I had coming in from Michael at the time. Adam thought he was being so generous by signing over the title to the trailer to me that I could not possess. My utilities got shut off in the middle of winter one year. And because of the way the trailer was designed, the back bedroom was the master bedroom. And we could just barely fit a queen-size bed back there. And we had a washer and dryer back there because it was the only place there was for a hookup. Adam always slept closest to the wall over there, and I was closest to this one or whatever. But there was always one side of the bed that he slept on and one side that I slept on, and that was our designated sides. With me and Chris, it's the opposite. Because when me and Adam were together, I would lay on the side that Chris lays on now, and Adam would lay on the side that I lay on now. So I would fall asleep on his chest and with his arm around me. And him, like so many, I was completely head over heels in love with him. Gave my heart and soul to him. Gave him 4 years of my life and the beautiful daughter that he would not have ever had without me. Zephyr is a magical child because I used magic, positive of course, to bring her into my womb, into the world, to grow into my baby girl. There were 3 major things that Adam, 3 goals in life that he wanted to achieve before he died. Meet his real family, get to know him a little bit at least, or at least say I met him, talk to him briefly, whatever. Lose his virginity and have a daughter. I gave him 2 of the 3. Zephyr was one of them. I had a blue laced agate, and I regret to this day that I lost it because I would so have already put that in something, and I hated losing that stone, losing that crystal, and I remember the spell well. It was one of my magic books I got it out of. I don't remember which one. But it just flowed and came out so naturally. What you did was you faced certain direction. I believe I sat down facing this way, but this side of my tub was here because this was a trailer. It was a what was it, a 12 by 60 or something, like it was 60 something inches long or whatever, and it was so many feet wide. Like the narrowest hallway was about somewhere in the neighborhood. It seemed like it was about like this to me, but it was a 2 bedroom, tiny ass bathroom. The living room, dining room, and kitchen were all one room. So you take the blue lace agate. This is only part of it. I don't know. I can't guarantee this is all of it in a nutshell because I have not found that spell since. So I don't know if it's a book that I actually have that has it in it or if it's one that I have to replace that does. But to wrap it up for the night and get my own self to bed because it's going to be a busy ass day, I have to get myself some sleep. Anyway, Shar could stop time, and all my utilities were shut off in the middle of winter. I was under 4 blankets in the master bedroom, which was the very end of the trailer, trying not to freeze to death. I had no running heat, no heat, no running water, no gas, no electric. Everything I had in my fridge wasted and spoiled, and it got so bad that you could no longer safely open the refrigerator door because it was full of black mold. And if anybody would have breathed in even the slightest bit of that black mold or the spores from it, it enters your lungs and it fucking kills you. And from what I understand, probably pretty damn quick. I will rebuild that trailer. But I'm going to make it a triple wide. I'm going to make it as sturdy and steady as I can. Make it like a fort, castle. You okay? You getting ready to do a breathing treatment? Have you got any sleep at all? I'm sorry if I've been too loud. I'm trying to keep it down. I try to catch myself when I feel like I might be getting too loud. Chris just came out, y'all, and he's sky clad, so I can't show him. There's no one on anyway. He's been having breathing issues and trouble sleeping a lot of times. And I've been there, done that. I mean, there's been times when I would literally lay in bed for 4 hours trying to fall asleep. I'm like, okay, this is not working. This is not working. Hey, boo. How you like to rub your head on mommy's feet, huh? So he's getting ready to do a breathing treatment. And he got himself a nebulizer, and, one of the resources got him the little medicine things to put in it. And at first he was doing them 3 times a day because he misunderstood and misread the directions or something. And it was too much for him. So then he read them again. It said, as needed. It's like, oh, okay. No more than 3 times a day, basically. So yeah, Shar could stop time. And we were sitting in my living room one day. I don't even remember, I think I had like very little furniture. We were sitting on the floor just kicking it one day in the summer, and she was a stoner like me. She always had pot. One of us always had some. 9 times out of 10, sadly, it was her because she had the money. I didn't. One day, I will rebuild that trailer. but I'll make it a triple wide and I'll make it better than it would ever be. The way I've always seen it in my dreams. There would be parts of it that were crystal clear and looked just like it always did. But the rooms would change. There would be similarities, familiarities, but then the rooms would change, like be bigger, you know. You know, rooms that were not once there, but now suddenly were. It's like, what? More than one bathroom. I mean, oh, bless you. Goodness. What's that all about? Something making you sneezy, baby doll. I'm sorry if it's me. And Daddy's doing his breathing treatment because he's still having troubles. Oh, did you want to lay down? I can move these. I can move these if you want to lay down. Excuse me. So yeah, you know, we were sitting there one day and smoking, and she just nonchalantly paused for a minute and said, "Do you have any use for time today?" And I was like, "No, why?" "Okay." And she wouldn't say what she meant. I'm like, okay, so we kept smoking, hanging out, having a decent day, I guess, because Char, I remember she was always on a lot of medications. She was epileptic, I believe. She would, as a child, she got so badly abused by her, it was either her real father, her stepfather, I don't even know, it's too long ago. My fridge was still running, and other things that ran on electric. But to me, the most important was the fridge, because the furnace, I believe, was gas. And we had water and sewage. I don't remember if we had to pay it together or if we paid it separate. This is all the way back in 99, 2000, somewhere around there. Things were totally different then. But every now and again, I'll have one of those dreams too, and it'll be the trailer, and it's like, why do I keep having this dream? What is it trying to tell me that I'm just not getting? And I need to get it because it's important. So I'm out in my garden one day, and or wait, this one first. So me and Char are sitting there smoking, chilling, kicking it. It was summertime, so it was decent out. I think we had the windows open, or you know, any that had screens in them, because we had, I think, the wind out windows because it was a trailer. I don't even know if any actual New Moon trailers are still standing to this day, but a meter reader came around. I believe it was electric. And this cute guy, he's kind of young, you could tell he looked like he was in his maybe early 20s, mid 20s, if that. And we get a knock on the door. This guy was sent out to get a reading on the meter, and because I hadn't paid my bills, and they were getting ready to shut me off. And at that point, it should have already been shut off. So I was very lucky that magically I had an assist that was able to keep on my utilities as long as I did. it didn't take them long to shut them all off. And so this guy knocks on the door, and I open the door, and I was like, oh shit. And Shar just kind of looked at me and whispered, it'll be fine. She mouthed her lips, it'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So I knew she was doing something magically. I could feel it. He's like, excuse me. I'm like, yes. I was just back there reading your meter, and the thing for like 30 minutes just stopped. So I thought, okay, maybe they've already shut it off and I don't need to be here. So I start to walk by the trailer, then I hear what sounded like the fridge cutting on and on. He said, is your fridge running? I said, yeah, why? And he's like, okay, so maybe they need to put a new meter out here or something, you know. But literally for 30 minutes, Shar was able to stop time. And I was like, what the F? Did that just happen for real? We had a witness. Didn't even know the guy was out there until he knocked on the door. Just like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. They're going to shut me off. Because they're going to realize why are you still here? You're supposed to be moved out by now because you're behind in your bills and there shouldn't be any on. No electric, no gas, no water, no way to shower, no way to flush the toilet. Oh, great. Well, I don't know how you little bastards managed to get in. But you did, so I gotta dump it, and I need to drink some water anyway. Dump it, put some water in it. Gotta get the kitchen towel back in there. I had to use it to dry my hands on there. Yeah, damn, that one bowl's almost empty again. Jeez. Piggies. You doing okay, Malachi? I hope. You okay? Oh, you need food, don't you? I'm sorry, buddy. Try not to put too much in there because you're just one little fish, you know? I don't want to overdo it. I don't have any more money to spend to get fish food right now, so I can't be going through it. You alive? Okay. Making sure. I'm kind of dying. Somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly where. I forgot to get my water. Dang it. I'll get it in a minute. somewhere around here, and when I find it again, I will read some of the stuff out of it. But there's going to be parts I'm going to leave out. I don't know how I came across it, but I'm glad that I did. It is a black arts book of spells that actually used to belong to Shar. That treatment helping at all? Sorry if you haven't been really getting any sleep. I know today's going to be fucking busy, so I'm trying to get some stuff caught up, and it always exhausts me by the time I get around to it because I'm always busy doing so much else. It's like spreading myself too thin again, so that's not good either. That's why I take breaks once in a while. And there will be times when I won't go live on here for months because there's just too much going on, and it's a lot of stress for a lot of people, and but yeah, Char stopped time, and I have her black spell book, and it's even got her own handwriting in it of additional stuff that I don't know where she found it. I don't know how she knew this. She was Finnish. No offense to any of the good Finnish people out there, but she was Finnish, and her mom a lot of times would speak in their native tongue because they knew I didn't understand what they were saying, and they were always talking about me and how they were going to rob me blind, and they did. And they took some things that I will never be able to replace, and one of them was a bridal doll that my mom originally had given to me, but Alicia fell in love with it too, so she gave it to both of us, and we used to have it hanging on the wall by the candelabra. That I no longer have. It was one that mounted on the wall, and it was iron. Very gothic, very witchy, And then I had a round one that could hold 8 paper candles. Both pieces, iron, very well crafted. Adam, Zephyr's bio dad, had to hug. I think it was hug. Was it hug? Like everybody in the ball, the witch's ball. And if he did, and he could prove that he did, that AJ would give him both candelabras because I forget how much he wanted for them, but I was like, damn it, I wish I had the money. I would get those. I want those. Well, at one point, Sherry stole it. I never saw either candelabra again. And I knew my time there in Marysville had ended. And that my only other recourse was to go back home to Franklin County and get ready to have my 4th and final child, Rupert. And here we are. So, quit that. But Adam hugged a bunch of people and did some kind of silly thing that AJ said, if you do this, I'll give them to you. And he did. And then Adam gave them to me because he liked them too. And he knew how much they meant to me because they were from AJ's shop. That was back when he had Salem West on the corner of I believe it was 5th and High. Some kind of hippie shop now or something, secondhand clothing or something like that. And I never did get back my hematite pentacle that I bought at AJ's shop and put it around my neck. As soon as we got out to the car, it shattered. It came loose and the beads went everywhere. He was going to fix it for me. Never saw it again. Took it back into the store. I was devastated. It was hematite. It just don't like me. And after that, I was like, no more. I'm not going to wear hematite jewelry because if it's going to do that, then I'm not going to. What's the point? Because then that's like the same as throwing money down the drain, which, let's face it, nobody can afford to do right now because the world's fucked up and so is the economy. So anyway, I'm going to, what did I do with it? Oh, it's right here. Okay. Saw it sitting over there, but blessed be. Have a good day. Have a good night. Hope you enjoyed this live. Sorry it took me a while to do one again, but now at least you have a somewhat decent idea as to why. So, peace. Love y'all. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourselves. Live each day as if it were your last, because you never know when it will be. You never know when your last day on earth is. And as bad as things are right now, who knows how long we're all even going to still be here. So, blessed be, and see you next live. Try not to make it too long.